I'm just about to start building a new model railroad and I'd like you to come along for the ride. Let's get started. Hey everyone, Peter Borcherds here. I'd normally say Peter from Rochelle Intermodal here, but I'm starting a new model railroad, and as Rochelle Intermodal is no longer around, it's going to get a new name. So welcome to the new series I'm doing on building my new model railroad. This new series will be following my progress as I start building a new model railroad. It'll be starting off from the research stage when I find out what railroad I want to build, on the prototype, which prototype I'm going to follow, and following along as I research all parts of this railroad. It'll follow on as I start the actual construction process, right to the electrical, scenery, and eventually the operations. This series is going to last a good number of years, or however long it takes me to get to the operations stage. And once I get to the operations stage, I'll start a new series on the operations of the railroad. So I hope you'll follow along with me on this series. Make sure you subscribe down below. Click the little bell icon to make sure you get all notifications of any uploads I do. So let's get started. As those of you who follow my channel already know, my Rochelle Intermodal layout was based at Rochelle, Illinois, and was mainly based around the Union Pacific Global 3, which in my layout became the BNSF intermodal yard, and the Caron Road area, which was the industrial area of Rochelle. Now my new layout is moving back to Chicago, and it's going to be based initially on the BNSF Chicago sub, which goes between Chicago, Illinois and Aurora, Illinois. Now if you see on this map, the transit map of Chicago, this green line here is the metro service that runs from Chicago to Aurora. Now this runs along the BNSF route, is shared between the freight traffic and the metro commuter traffic. So initially my layout will be from Chicago, from the metro yard in Chicago and from the main BNSF freight yard, and it will follow this line past the Western Avenue yard and following along past the big Cicero yard, which is the main yard for BNSF in this area, and it'll go further west until it gets all the way through to Aurora on the far west, and this is where the metro service ends. It's got a metro yard on this side, and the commuter traffic goes between here and Chicago. What I might do in the future, depending on how the initial part of the layout goes, is add an extra section on, which will be the Aurora sub, which goes from Aurora, Illinois, all the way out to La Crosse, Wisconsin. So the line from Aurora goes from Aurora there, past Rochelle, up to Rockford, Illinois, then across west to the Mississippi River, and follows that all the way up until we get to La Crosse, Wisconsin. And that is the Aurora sub of the BNSF. Now that will be a possible future extension to the layout, but initially I'm just going to do the Chicago sub between Chicago and Aurora. So I hope you enjoyed that video. The next one coming up will be focusing more on the photography I've taken along the route, and the different stations and facilities that I've photographed on my last trip back in July. So you can get an idea of what I'm going to be modelling. I'm also going to look more at the metro operations, looking at the current timetables and working out what I'm going to include in the layout. This will help me come up with a track plan, because I'm going to have various yards. I'm going to have the metro yard at the beginning, plus the BNSF freight yard, and then various yards along the route, and towards the end as well you've got the Aurora metro yard right at the terminus, and there's another BNSF yard in the area as well. So that'll be coming up in the next episode. I'm going to try to keep these episodes fairly regular. I'm not sure what the schedule is at the moment. It's based on work and when I can get it all fitted in, and when I get time to actually do some research. At least try to get a regular episode coming out. It'll probably be every 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the moment, but I'll update you and let you know. So if you enjoyed what you saw, please subscribe down below. Click the little bell icon so you get notifications every time I upload a video, and I'll see you in the next episode.